my other friends got a table. And after taking 3 shots, I don't remember anything. The next morning, I wake up. Oh my God, it smells so bad.
What?
Which means I literally, when I was like about to fall asleep, and then like,
You know why we're not kind of drinkers?
it's because we get red.
That's what it's not me, honestly. I just hated the way it made me feel. I am legit allergic to alcohol. Test actually showed no, your body rejects it.
Corporate culture to drink. We have
Yeah.
alcohol in the office,
Oh,
happy hours all
wow.
the time. Oh, the work conference I went to in Seattle,
The
drinking.
one that was like Coachella, but like it was a tech
Yeah.
company
Yeah.
party.
Literally drinking event every night.
I feel like I need to get out more. Seeing craft work kind of really like inspiring, at least. Like to like funnel my actual work. You know? 'Cause I feel like you just work all the time. Like it's hard to like grab inspiration from other things. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 8. My name is Mikhail. Got my brother here, Noel. What's up, man?
What's up?
Today we're talking about America's corporate weekend versus artists who don't work for Saturday.
Pretty much we're talking about our weekends. And as you both know from the last episode, we didn't do much during our high school weekends,
Not
but
at all.
that shit changed
Yeah.
a bit, maybe.
No, I'm kind of the same. I kind of stay in on the
Oh.
weekends almost, or
Okay.
I just kind of go out when I need to, or I don't know what it is. Like, I'm never really that crazy about going out to, let's say, just at least for bar scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bar scene, I like going out to live shows. Love seeing DJs go play.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like fish it out. You know, if I hear it in passing, I'm not like actively looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
If I see by word of mouth that so and so is playing or something, someone I like, then I'll go.
Mhm.
You know, like recently I went to Kraftwerk at the Disney Hall,
Right.
which I thought was very inspiring.
Right. I
Very
remember
cool.
that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
looked cool.
But yeah, I noticed with you, I feel like when you're living back home, you were living for the weekend.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What are you doing on the weekend then if you're not going out and doing
Well,
stuff?
Spending time with my puppy and my girlfriend.
Oh, so you're a homebody, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
100%.
You're a proud homebody.
Oh,
And you've
yeah.
been that your whole life. Even in Boston, you were a homebody.
No, I feel like it comes with age. Maybe like more on the weekends, I would be wanting to go out. Like, oh, it's
Mhm.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do something. Especially when I was in college, because I felt
Mhm.
like I was stuck to such a routine, maybe.
Right.
But I feel like when I started working for myself, when I was like 19, 20 or whatever,
Uh-huh.
I just felt like I didn't need to. If I wanted to on a Tuesday night, I will go out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
I didn't have to. Wasn't like I had to go to a boss the next morning. You know?
That's crazy. So then pretty much like the week in general wasn't, well, you pretty much didn't have a weekend. A weekend to most
Yeah.
people is like, oh, we don't have work the next day, so let's do something.
Yeah, it's kind of true. Like people, I feel like in music, like if they want to party on a Monday night, they will. You know?
That's true. I feel like there is events, or at least I've seen you go out on like a Tuesday or Wednesday night and you'll be like, you want to come with them? Be like, dude, I got to wake up at like 5 a.m. for the gym so I can go before work.
Yeah.
So it is crazy. You guys don't really have like the same timeline as everyone else.
But I feel like you now, like you stay in on the weekends a lot more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like that changed when I moved over here and I just didn't have people really to go out with, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, it was kind of just like a change, and like I didn't have like the rush to always go out like I used to.
Mhm.
Definitely when I was in college.
Yeah.
That's when I really started like really appreciating the weekends and just being like, all right, fucking let's do something this weekend. Like we don't have any school.
Yeah.
Let's hang out. Let's do something. I feel like that's when I started really like living for the weekend, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you find people that work in corporate life kind of like do the same kind of thing?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like anyone in corporate life, I'd be very surprised if they're not necessarily going out, but if they are always planning what they're going to do for the weekend. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
like, unfortunately, I mean, like if you work a normal 9-to-5 job, like that's the only time where you really have to yourself regularly.
Yeah.
And like you really want to, well, I guess it depends on either or, but you really just want to make use of the time and make sure you're not wasting it, you know?
Yeah, like the ones that actually go out, they'll go to a bar like on the weekday, or it's like leading to a problem.
Yeah, or going. Yeah, if they're going on a weekday, definitely leading to a problem. Or if they're going on a weeknight constantly, then it's like, oh, like you have work the next day. You're either not getting any sleep or you're really bad at your job.
Yeah,
it's something like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like me and Sarah will go out for dinner like on a random weekday, and usually there's like bars around. And it's interesting to see the people that go to bars on weekdays or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe they're just like all artists or something that work for themselves, or maybe I don't know. I never got the appeal of like going to a bar and like grabbing a drink. Maybe just because I'm not a drinker.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I was kind of a drinker, but I wasn't that much where like I wanted to go to a bar.
You know why we're not kind of drinkers?
Oh yeah, dad.
Well, what do you mean, dad?
Because dad in the sense that we. Actually, I was gonna say it's because we get red, but honestly, that never really stopped me and Cassie. So
that's what it stopped me. Honestly, I just hated the way it made me feel.
Oh, getting red.
Yeah. And like I don't know, maybe it's a gene thing, but I actually took like an allergy test, and I am legit allergic to alcohol. Like the test it actually showed no, your body rejects it, and it shows with the redness. Like
yeah,
but I feel like my redness is like it's another level. I don't know. I feel like I've seen you red too, and it's like the same kind of level as me, where it's like. Not only is it getting red, but it's like you're getting, like I'm getting like puffy.
Yep. Oh my god! And you would scratch your neck, right?
You get itchy. Yeah. I've seen you too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's honestly me and Cassie were like that too.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's just a point where you just have to like push it so hard where you just like, all right, we're gonna get red, but fuck it, we're just gonna kind of keep going. You're usually still considered like a lightweight because even in those times when I would get red, I would stop drinking earlier than everyone else, or I would fall asleep. That was like the worst thing. And I know Cassie, for her, that was a problem because it was, what do you call it? It was the redness, and that would make us fall asleep. But
see, that's the thing. I feel like I've never like blacked out in my life before because
yeah.
I
mean, honestly, now that I think about it, it's kind of like a good kind of obstacle to keep you from blacking out because it's like.
Could you say you've ever blacked out before?
I've blacked out too many times.
Like blacked out, like in the sense like you've gotten so drunk that you've woken up the next day and you don't remember what happened.
Yes. So you know how like last year I was like I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
And did I ever tell you the story why I stopped drinking?
No.
So it was one of my last nights at like Lock and Key. And then a few friends from Jersey were visiting. And then my other friends got a table. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll come out tonight. And then I Uber just in case, because I knew I was going to drink. And then I remember like just taking 3 shots. And after taking 3 shots, I don't remember anything. And then I remember the next morning at like 7 a.m. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, it smells so bad. And then I see on my bed a little Picasso stroke of throw up on my bed.
What?
Which means I literally, when I was like about to fall asleep, I was probably like, ugh. And then when I fell asleep, I was like, and then like one of those like fancy food streaks. Yeah.
How did I not even know that this happened to you?
You guys were gone for one of your weekends in the desert, but I remember I did it, and then I remember it was just like an orange streak, kind of like what you see in like Michelin star restaurants when they're trying to decorate the plate. It's like, And then after that, I was like, damn, I really just threw up on my whole bed. And then I remember I was pretty much still drunk until like 12 o'clock. And then I was going through one of like the worst hangovers I ever experienced.
No.
And it was kind of just like a call, like a sign. I was like, Noel, you're nearing 30. I think we need to chill out on these like crazy nights because you're not that college student anymore, or you're not that young adult that could drink a lot.
See, I feel like for me, it was like in high school is when I experienced those moments. Like in high school, I really pushed it to the limits and see what my limits were. And it used to be like, if I took like 3 shots like in a row, like I would just instantly yak like an hour later, So I feel like my body would reject it, so I couldn't like black out. Like, there'd be times where I like pass out drunk, but I would kind of like remember what happened the other day, like the night before. So it was like, I don't know, like Yeah, and I feel like after that, like I would drink from time to time, but I wouldn't like go nuts.
Yeah, it was weird because I feel like in college I was in a big drinker, but I just drank as ever much as I can, so because like everyone else was doing it.
Yeah.
And then I think for a while I tried to just come off as a guy who like just was the smoker, right, in the group, and like didn't like to drink. But then I don't know what happened. I think like when I started being an adult, and then like I started working, and then the company that you work for just starts paying for happy hours. Oh, and then like another tactic too was honestly the Pepsi. And like I know a lot of Asians use that because the Pepsi,
it does work.
It really does. We're like it definitely calmed down. Like sometimes it didn't work on the redness, but it would definitely calm down with at least the itching. And then if I could get the itching down, then I'm like, all right,
no, for me it helped with the redness for sure, and the itching.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I had to take it every hour.
Oh, every hour
to keep the red. Like, yeah, if I took Pepsi before I started drinking, like if let's say I kept drinking 2 hours later, like I'd get red.
Oh,
it
interesting.
Would like slow down the redness. But if I took the Pepsi every hour, I would keep it low.
Oh,
maybe it's not a good thing. I don't know.
I never really looked into that, but I think I felt like at one point maybe I needed to do that, but after I started drinking more and more through my young adult years, then I only needed like maybe 2 at the start, and I only needed it at the start, and then I could just keep going.
So do you get pleasure from alcohol when you drink it?
I did. I definitely did. I had some really good times. Like I remember when on my 23rd birthday, me and Cassie, we got a fucking bottle service at one of the clubs we went to.
You and Cassie were always like the drinkers.
Honestly, that like, well, yeah, we were always the drinkers. You're right.
Yeah.
But what do you call it? Yeah, I mean those bottle service days when we got it, like maybe like 1 or 2 times, I don't regret like paying for that, but like all the other times I pay for it, and just looking back, I'm just like, damn, I spent so much money on alcohol, and like that stuff didn't really like. I mean, like it gave me fun for a little bit, but then I was just like, oh, like the next day was just like the worst, and then I just like I remember just regretting spending that money, but then always keep doing it anyway. It was like this kind of cycle that I was like kind of stuck in.
I feel like it only took me one hangover to like really be like, I don't want to get that drunk ever again. And that was just like in high school. The one time I was pushing to the limits, and I remember waking up the morning after I had to go to work, which was at Chili's.
Oh my God.
My last job before music became my full-time thing.
Oh my God.
Waiting at Chili's, and I remember the night before we were drinking rum.
Oh.
We were drinking like, I think it was Captain Morgan or Jack Daniels, something.
Either way.
Wait, is Jack Daniels rum or whiskey? I forget.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah, and I remember waking up and I was just like, oh, this. I was like, what is a hangover? And then, oh, this is a hangover. I know now.
My God.
And never again. Like I would still drink enough, but I found like secret ways to not get a hangover when I did drink. So one of my favorite ways was like not going to sleep without drinking a whole bottle of water beforehand.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I know that one too. I know that one. Yeah.
And then another one was like sometimes I'll drink the whole bottle, but then I wait for a headache to come. You know, like that kind of headache you get.
Oh, okay.
But you see, these are things you can do when you're not like too drunk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know what another method is that I always did was always just making myself throw up before I left the party.
Bro, that is so unhealthy. That is the most unhealthy.
A lot of people won't admit that they did it, but there was a method. If you had a really close friend and you're like, oh, I feel really sick, but if I threw up, I know I would feel better. And then you're like, I got you. Stick the finger in the throat, and then you make him throw up.
Oh my
Hey man,
God.
if it's your brother, then it's like fuck it. You know, we're in this together, and I just want to get you home okay, and we're gonna do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have never seen that method before.
Yeah. I mean, it's rarely done. It's only if someone really wants to throw up. But
yeah.
It's
But that's true though. Right after you do, I've thrown up plenty of times.
Yeah,
definitely. And it's like right after you throw up, it's like instant.
Yeah, you feel like a new person, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I threw up, it was my manager's birthday or like his bachelor party in Vegas. And it's funny because it was recently his birthday party, and I saw one of the guys that was with us, and he had brought this story up. So it was this time we were like in this club in Vegas, and like I hadn't drank like that in a while, and I felt like I wanted to celebrate, so I'm like drinking like I was in high school. I remember we had like a table, right? And then like it was kind of like you could sit on the edge of the table like this, and then
Right.
like the seat is where your feet is, but I'm like sitting up because you want to be high up.
You want to be
Yeah, we're in the
cool.
club. We're in the club. And I'm like drinking. I'm drinking. And I don't know. And I feel it coming. It's like it's coming up, right? And then what I did, I just like sneakily like behind the couch here. There's like a thing behind the couch.
Oh my God.
And I was like as if like I dropped my phone.
Oh.
Right. And I thought no one knew this story, right? So this is what I did. I dropped my phone. I just went.
Oh, in the club.
Yeah, but like there's nothing behind. It's like a wall and the sofa, right?
And
then I got up and I was like playing it cool. And then I see this guy 10 years later. He's like, dude, I remember when you threw up in the club. And I was like, oh my God, he realized that. So I assumed like everyone saw it.
Oh.
But then like I just like played it off like nothing ever happened.
Wow, I'm surprised you threw up in the club. That's
I did. Because I knew I wasn't gonna make it to the bathroom.
Oh my!
Yeah, I knew. I was like,
I would never expect you as a guy to throw up in the club.
No,
Not that that's a bad thing, but I'm just like, wow.
It was the one time I did, but it's because I went in too deep.
Club life. Wait, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
I remember like the first 2 years. When everyone was turning 21, we would always go to Atlantic City. And I would say half of the times that we went there, the birthday celebrant would always have to be wheelchaired up back to the hotel room.
That sounds like Atlantic City, though. It's like the only reason you go to Atlantic City is just to get absolutely trashed.
Yes, exactly.
It's so interesting to see the difference between Atlantic City and Vegas. It's just like,
I feel like when I was in like early 20s, I feel like when I imagined myself having my bachelor party, I always imagined it at Vegas. But now it's like, I feel like it's so much different. Like just like my going out or like my idea of having like a good weekend has like changed like over time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like my idea for a bachelor weekend is just like, we go to Joshua Tree, get a little trippy, and just chill.
Yes, that's literally like mine is now. Like I just want to get an Airbnb and like a forest or some deserted place and just have like all my guy friends around me.
Just chill.
Yeah.
And I feel like I recently went to a bachelor that was in Vegas, and it was just like he wants to do all the typical things. I'm just like, this is absolutely not what I want to do for my bachelor.
Oh my God, yes,
bro. It's it's just like typical. But it's like when you're coming from Jersey, I guess, like Vegas, and you never been. It's like,
living it up.
Let's live it up in Vegas.
No. I totally get that.
Yeah, and like those guys are corporate guys too. So it's like,
it's crazy. I feel like it's such like a corporate trend. Oh, it's also I feel like it's called corporate culture to like, especially now to drink because like my company, right? Like we have alcohol in the office. We have happy hours all the time. When someone new joins the office, they do this thing called like I forgot what they call it, but like some kind of like bar where they have the new people make a drink and then they have a happy hour in the office.
Oh my God.
So I was just like constantly drinking, and then the work conference I went to in Seattle.
Oh, the one that was like Coachella, but like it was a tech company party.
Literally drinking event every night, and then the last one. Oh, so like some context, right? We were in Seattle, and we pretty much rented the arena in Seattle, and they had a whole concert. They had screens and everything, almost like Travis Scott on tour, but for a tech company.
God, dude.
And then obviously unlimited alcohol.
Yeah,
it was insane. But like it's kind of insane because like corporate culture, I feel like when you're in that, it's encouraged to do that, and especially on the weekends, it's encouraged to have like kind of live it up on the weekends, just because, at least from my point of view, that I realize is that like I almost feel like I'm so miserable 40 hours a week where to make myself happy or validate that my life is happy. I have to do something crazy on the weekends,
But it's interesting. Like I know you will go to these like team or client meetings and you guys end up drinking, right?
Yeah.
Like what if like you're that guy and you're just like getting hammered at the client meeting?
Oh my God.
Have you ever run into that in your corporate life?
Not yet, where someone got really hammered or was like uncomfortable. Not yet. I don't know what I would do in that situation, especially if I had to like see that person like at work,
awkward.
Like I personally know I always like controlled myself because like I knew I never wanted to be like that. And like I still have to work with these people, so it's like 40 hours a week. Like I don't want anything to be awkward.
Yeah.
But like going back to that corporate event, like I was talking to one girl from HR, and like we were just boarding our flight, and she's like, "Oh, we already had to fire like 3 people. And I was like, damn, like it just started.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, why did they get fired? Because it was like drinking
insubordinate. I mean, there was this one instance where like this really high up guy was kind of like drunk, and then he was like kind of like touching girls' butts, and then
canceled.
Seriously, canceled.
Well, I mean, the difference. I mean, just generally in America is like there's an alcohol like culture where it's accepted. I mean, like in my work, like it's kind of rare for people to drink because usually I work in the daytime.
Yeah.
But there are like 2 times out of 10, like an artist will be like, we'll start working at 1, let's say, and then we start working for an hour, and then like, you got any tequila? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I think because we always keep like a little bit of alcohol here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, here's what I got, and like they'll drink. I need to take a shot to loosen up and stuff. I feel like maybe at night it tends to there'll be more drinking around, but generally not so much. Maybe it's just the people I surround myself with, But
yeah, that's interesting because I was gonna ask you because I feel like you, right? Yeah. I don't see you as like the party type on the weekend. And then some of your friends in the music industry, I don't see that from them either.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's this like maybe misconception about maybe music stars or celebrities that they have that lifestyle where like when you're a big music star that you rent out the whole club and like you're pretty much people want to party with you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Those artists, like you think of any big artists and they do live that lifestyle, but it's part of their job.
No.
It's like, it's part of their job to show face at clubs and be like, I'm here. I'm throwing dollar bills here and there, or just spending this. Like there's a difference between like being an artist lifestyle and then there's the producer. Like us producers were like in the studio with them. And then after we're done at the studio, they go to the club and live it up and party, and then we're the producers that stay in and just kind of like edit the song.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll drink when they leave too, just to get loose while we're editing. But like usually it's the producers that stay and just like do
the work.
Make that polish the song while they're out partying and stuff.
That makes sense. That's interesting.
Yeah. But a lot of times, if you're working, I find like when I work a lot of the rappers but rarely in like R&B and stuff or even house or pop, like I don't see much drinking. Even in hip hop and like in rap and stuff, like rarely drinking, but like I don't know, I'm not in too many of those rooms.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But
that's interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I could see why now that I think it's one thing that you just didn't want to be in that party scene, but I also too feel like because you don't have a strict schedule like we do where we have to wake up at a certain time, you kind of have a freedom to make your whole week schedule where you could be like let's say like, for example, if you really wanted to like go out for Joshua Tree, like you don't have to plan that for the weekend. You could literally do during the week if you wanted to, because you could make your own schedule like that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a blessing and a curse to that, right?
Yeah.
It's like I find myself, I feel like this was my whole 20s.
Yeah.
Where it was just like wake up and just figure it out. I would not go by a schedule whatsoever. Like that was the chaotic time when I was like a true studio rat.
Yeah.
Where I was like, okay, my schedule was, and this wasn't written down, it's just how my life was. It's like, all right, I'm waking up at 12:01. All right. And then, get up, do my thing, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, go to the studio. And then I am there till probably 4 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember one time when I slept over your place.
What era was this? What part of town was I living?
This was the first time me, you, and Cassie went to Joshua Tree together. So it was when you were in Van Nuys.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sleeping on your couch. And then I remember I think you were making one of your sad money tracks.
Yeah.
I woke up to you doing that. I think you were making Coming Home or something. I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I remember you had your headphones on, you had the whole mic.
Yeah.
And you were still up at 4 a.m. and you were making music. You weren't playing the keys loud, but I heard you using your voice. I'm like, I wish you didn't do this right now. This is just like high school days.
Because, I had my studio living room. That's where you're sleeping, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, sometimes I'll still have those moments.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when the inspiration strikes, you just got to go for it.
Yeah. That's fair.
Just got to get it down. Yeah, sometimes I have that moment. It's very rare now that I'm like up till 4 a.m. because, ever since I got dogs, 6 a.m.
That's true.
And I kind of like it now that I've like transferred over to being like, getting up early in the morning,
Uh-huh.
like having a routine and stuff, like, being a grown adult.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it a lot.
Dude, me too. Like, I
Yeah.
like waking up early on the weekends now.
Yeah.
I think what changed that was when I was living in Hawaii and like I was just naturally on that clock of waking up at 3 a.m. and then having the sunrise.
Yeah.
And then once I stayed on that schedule, I kind of liked it because I realized I had so much to do during the day. Like, I felt like I already did a lot by 12 o'clock and I still had so much more to do.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of like that feeling now over like waiting for the night, staying up to like 5 a.m. and then waking up at like 11 or 10 a.m.
Yeah,
You know?
I just feel a lot more responsible because I used to be that guy who would be like, I told someone I'd book a session. I'd be at the session at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I would even call them, like they're calling me at 5 p.m. Like, where are you? And I'm knocked out. I'm like asleep, and then I'll text them like 3 hours later, like, sorry man, I was knocked out. Like,
I remember when we brought up that old like ASMR video that you did with Sabrina.
Yeah,
I remember when I first watched that, she brought it up how when you guys first met, you were like super late to her session.
My god, that was like we like she hated me for like 6 months or something. Like, she didn't talk to me for 6 months. Like, I was in the middle of like her first project and the second one.
Yeah.
And it was funny. It was like our managers that had to like bring us back together because like she hated me like for like ditching the session. But I was just like that previous night, I was up working on like the song we did the day before. I was just like up all night doing it. But my phone was like on the floor. I was knocked out. Like, I didn't hear. It was my phone's on vibrate.
That's fair. That's fair.
She doesn't hear it. But like me and her always go through cycles like that where it's like, we'll do one thing that I piss her off, and then she's like, "They'll talk to me for a month," and it's like, it's just funny.
Oh damn!
It's like some sister brother shit, but it's great.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing this weekend now? You guys are doing like all the art stuff, right? You guys are looking at
it's London Design Festival, which hasn't happened in like 2 years, right? So it's like, or it hasn't happened in a while. Yeah, 5 or something like that. And so they're doing it again this year, and it's cool because it's like similar to London Design Festival, which me and Sarah went to. Was it a year or two?
I remember you guys showed me pictures from that.
Yeah,
That
it's
was really
just like
cool.
all these little art studios that open up, and they just let you in and like check out their work or they're showing stuff.
Yeah.
And I really like that because I feel like I never really got into art outside of music until I met Sarah. And then it's really cool. I feel like it's inspiring in different ways. It goes back to my music, but
that's dope.
Yeah, I feel like looking at art now is what I'm into on the weekends. That's my version of going out.
Like
going to art shows and checking out art, or
cool.
if there's acts I like that are playing, like Kraftwerk was so sick. It was just like, I don't know, Kraftwerk is kind of like they were one of the founders or starters of like techno to hip hop to like you listen to their stuff and then you'll be like, oh, like now I see how how rap stems from this, or how techno or house stems from that, and it's like it's cool.
That's dope. I mean, like I wouldn't say I'm not going out anymore. I feel like I'm a little bit more selective.
Yeah.
Especially like what kind of DJs. Like I remember back in younger years, I tried to go out like both Saturday night and Friday night. And when I was living in Jersey City, I would literally just go to the same bar every night and see the bame people. But now I'm a little bit more selective because like even though like I don't go out as much and I don't drink as much, I still have that itch to kind of just like shake my ass in the club, you know?
Yeah, I do. I realize that because like sometimes I'll be like, what are you doing this Friday night? And you're like, oh, I'm going to see like, what was it, Ash Lauren that you saw recently? Yeah.
And I'm very comfortable now going to those things by myself now because I really just want to like get moving, especially house events now because like it really makes it gives me like a good feeling, and it's just like a constant beat where like I feel like I get my like if let's say I'm stressed from a week of work, I'm just like whatever, fuck that report, you know?
I mean, nothing better than like a house event because it's like that's the one kind of party where you could go by yourself and no one's gonna judge you for dancing.
Exactly.
Yourself, you know?
Yeah. That's a perfect reason why I like going to house events too. It's like even a Time Warp, you know, that event. Yeah. I went that completely by myself and I had like a fun time, you know?
Oh wow, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you couldn't really do that at like a hip hop event or like where they're playing top 40 hip hop.
No, I tried doing that and I just felt so weird. I left early. I was I feel like I either need to be drunk, grinding on someone, or just I don't know. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. Yeah,
it's be about house music, you know.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's interesting weekends. Like, do you feel like if you didn't work a corporate job, you would be, you know, like living the artist? Like, would you be still going out on the weekends when you
If I didn't work a corporate job, well, I'm assuming if I didn't work a corporate job, I would be maybe doing something like you. So maybe I would. I would maybe like
Well, for
not be doing.
example, you're doing the podcast edits now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I use that to use my weekends now. I mean, I guess that form, like it's still technically work, but I think I just try to like, I think you told me this before, what I try to tell myself when I'm doing it. And if I feel tired of it is like I really get to do this. Like this is not something I have to do. I get to do this on the weekends, you know?
Yeah.
And I think just having that mindset really helps with it. And like, I think the only difficult thing is when I want to, or like I have this temptation to go out and drink, it's mostly because of like a FOMO. Like I see my friends back home and they're like partying it up in the club. And I'm like, damn, I kind of miss that. Like, should I do that too? But I'm like, no, like I don't need to do that. Like I'm just doing it because I want to like make myself feel like I'm like that again. But I know like where I'm at now and where I'm heading towards is not really that direction anymore. Like not the club. Like even as a DJ, I feel like an introvert when I'm playing. And like one of the things I noticed when I last time played back home is like, I'm not gonna lie, I was killing it one time, right?
Yeah.
But like I felt awkward when people started like to put their flash on me while I was DJ. And like, I don't know, I'm just like, all I'm doing is literally twisting knobs and like all the pictures people took of me too. I was like, I'm like this. I'm like hunchback and like really focused. I'm like, I don't even look like I'm having fun. And like, I don't know. Like that's what really changed. Like I think that's one of the things I appreciate now is like I appreciate being a bedroom DJ because I feel most comfortable in my skin and most comfortable mixing when I'm doing it here, you know?
I get that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna want to be like a big DJ too, like you're not gonna love every gig you play, you know?
That's fair. No. Yeah, I mean it's not that I didn't love it. It's just I don't know. I'm still going through this like thing right now with DJing where I don't even know if I really love playing for people or if I just love like being in my headphones the whole time and just playing music that I like, you know?
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
But now that you're staying in more, like, how do you feel compared to when you're going out more?
I feel a lot more easy for the weekends. Like I don't feel as I think for example, when I went to Coachella the first time from Jersey.
Yeah.
I remember I felt like so depressed that week when I was back at work. And like I was like, damn, what am I doing in my life?
That's the one thing I feel like I realized like when I feel like you go back to your like we're living for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's when the festivals come around.
Yeah.
And your friends come down. Like every Coachella, like, oh my God, he's about to go so hard.
Yeah. But no, I have a new strategy now where I don't like now that I'm staying in most weekends, it's like the reason in part why I'm doing that is because like I'm also just getting ready so that I save all the fun for that weekend, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So it's kind of like it's like in a way like normalizing your dopamine levels. It's like normalizing your expectations for fun, you know?
Yeah.
Because if I'm doing it every weekend, then like every work week is gonna fucking suck. So
no, I feel like I need to get out more. You know, I like to stay in.
Oh yeah, you do. Like
I feel like I realized that with seeing Kraftwerk because I was like, found it really like inspiring at least like to like funnel my actual work. You know? 'Cause I feel like you just work all the time. Like it's hard to like grab inspiration from other things.
You guys should do like I remember when we did like the arts and craft party. That was fucking fun. Like, do stuff like that. Oh, and like I'm like because do you remember that time I took a pottery class?
That's what we want to do.
Oh my God. That shit is so like fun and soothing. Like I remember when I was taking the class, I saw this one person, he almost like really punk, but he had his headphones on and he was like, no. And then he was doing pottery. I'm like, oh my God, me and house music doing that. Oh my God.
I could totally see myself doing that.
Yeah. I mean, we have a pottery studio very close.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Right. We should hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that was a good stop right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good episode.
I'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh my God.